The street was too quiet. Not normal suburban quiet, the unnatural kind. The kind where even the birds decide not to participate. I noticed it before I even turned off the engine. My porch light was on. I never leave it on during the day. Then I saw the door. Open. Not unlocked. Wide open. I froze with my hand still on the steering wheel. 3 days I'd been gone. 3 days tracking a bail jumper across 2 counties, surviving on vending machine coffee and 30-minute naps in a parking lot. I wanted a shower in silence. Instead, my house looked like someone had peeled it open. My first thought wasn't burglary. It was worse. Someone was still inside. I stepped out slowly, closing the truck without a sound. My instincts were screaming, but I forced myself to breathe. I wasn't armed. Department policy during personal travel. For the first time in years, I was walking toward danger without backup. The closer I got, the clearer the noise became. Voices. Laughing. Furniture scraping. I reached the doorway and stopped. My living room was destroyed. Not messy. Not searched. Destroyed. Couch cushions sliced open. TV unplugged and face down. Drawers dumped in piles like trash sorting. And standing in the center of it was my HOA president, Linda Carver. Perfect hair. Perfect makeup. Perfect smile. Like she was hosting a home tour. Behind her stood 4 men in navy shirts with bright yellow patches. Community Patrol Unit. Plastic badges. Zip ties on their belts. One of them was holding my framed wedding photo upside down. Linda clapped her hands when she saw me. "Oh good. You're back. We needed you to sign the violation acknowledgement." I didn't answer. My brain hadn't caught up yet. "What happened here?" I asked quietly. She gestured proudly around her. "We conducted a compliance inspection." One of the patrol guys added. "You had locked storage areas. Suspicious behavior." Then I saw my office. The metal document safe, the one bolted to the floor, pried open. My stomach dropped. "Where is my wife?" Linda waved casually toward the kitchen. She became emotional and interfered. We had to restrain her briefly. The sentence didn't even register fully. I walked past them. The kitchen chair was tipped over. Emma sat on the floor, wrists red where someone had held her. Her phone lay shattered beside the counter. She looked up at me. "They wouldn't leave," she whispered. "They said the HOA outranks police jurisdiction." Something inside my head went completely silent. Not anger. Not panic. Just clarity. "What did they open?" I asked. She pointed toward the office. The big cabinet. I told them it was government property. She said she didn't believe me. I nodded once. Then I went back to the living room. Linda was still smiling. "Now, about your vehicle violation and the unauthorized flag." I interrupted her. "Did you live stream this?" Her smile widened proudly. "Transparency builds community trust." One of the patrol guys chuckled. "Neighborhood group loved it. Over 200 viewers." I took out my phone and dialed one number. I didn't raise my voice. "This is Special Enforcement Officer Daniel Reyes. I need immediate response at my residence. Active scene compromise involving protected records." Silence. Linda blinked. "Protected what?" I looked directly at her. "You broke into secured federal evidence storage." The color drained from her face. Nobody spoke. I continued calmly. "You also detained a federal employee's spouse and destroyed communication equipment while broadcasting the scene online." One patrol guy whispered, "Linda, maybe we should." Sirens echoed in the distance. I held her gaze. "You didn't raid a homeowner. You interfered with an active federal investigation." And for the first time since I'd met her, Linda Carver looked afraid. The sirens stopped outside my house one by one. County police first, then 2 unmarked SUVs. Then a third vehicle I recognized immediately. Linda noticed it too. Her confidence didn't disappear all at once. It cracked in stages. First confusion, then uncertainty. Then the moment she realized nobody was talking to her anymore. Officers stepped inside and walked straight past her. Straight to me. "Agent Reyes?" one asked. "Yeah." I pointed toward the office. Evidence storage compromised. Multiple civilians accessed secured materials. Live stream broadcast. An officer immediately began photographing everything. Another collected the broken phone from the kitchen. Behind me, Linda laughed nervously. "Okay, this is getting ridiculous. We're just a homeowners association. We have inspection authority." No one acknowledged her. That's when she made the worst decision possible. She pulled out her own phone and started recording. "For legal protection," she said loudly. "These officers are harassing elected community leadership." The detective finally turned toward her. Ma'am, put the phone down. I have rights. You do, he said calmly. But you've already waived several of them. She frowned. What does that mean? I answered. It means the live stream you proudly created documented forced entry, unlawful detention, and evidence tampering. One of her patrol volunteers tried slipping toward the door. He didn't make it 2 steps before a deputy stopped him. Nobody left. Nobody spoke. Except Linda. She kept talking. Because she still thought this was about bylaws. You people don't understand. Our community standards legally override. The detective cut her off. Ma'am, you raided a house because of a pickup truck. Silence fell over the room. Then came the line that finally broke her confidence. We're going to need the login to that neighborhood page. Her smile vanished. 2 days later, Linda sent an emergency HOA notice. Mandatory community meeting. Legal clarification regarding misinformation. She thought she could fix it publicly. She thought she could control the narrative. That was exactly what we were waiting for. The clubhouse was packed. Nearly every resident showed up, mostly because they'd watched the raid live. People whispered as I walked in with Emma beside me. Linda stood at the front with a printed speech. She looked tired, but determined. Neighbors, she began. Recent events have been exaggerated by an individual attempting to intimidate our association. The doors opened behind her. Not loudly, just enough. Every head turned. 6 officers walked inside. Behind them, 2 federal investigators. Linda stopped speaking. I didn't. I walked to the front. Go ahead, I said calmly. Finish your statement. She stared at me. You're trying to scare people. No, I replied. You already did that yourself. Online. One investigator connected a laptop to the projector mounted on the wall. Her own live stream appeared on the big screen. The room filled with audio. Her voice. Her orders. Her laughing while my office was pried open. Her telling my wife the HOA outrank police authority. Gasps spread through the crowd. Someone in the back muttered. You told us he abandoned the house. The investigator paused the video on the moment the cabinet opened, then addressed the room. The documents shown here were part of an active protection case. Broadcasting them publicly triggered emergency relocation procedures. Murmurs turned into anger. Neighbors weren't whispering anymore. They were staring at Linda. She stepped back. This is harassment. The detective spoke. No, ma'am. This is evidence. An officer approached her. She looked around for support. No one moved. No one defended her. The same neighbors who once applauded her enforcement now avoided eye contact. Her voice shook. I was protecting property values. Lives over a parking complaint. The officer gently took her wrists. She didn't resist. She just looked confused, like the world suddenly stopped obeying her rules. As she was escorted out, the room stayed silent. No cheers. No applause. Just the sound of consequences. 1 month later, the HOA was dissolved and restructured. The fake patrol unit disappeared overnight. 3 civil lawsuits were filed by residents. Emma got a new phone. My door got a stronger lock. And the neighborhood? Much quieter now. Sometimes power doesn't collapse in a dramatic moment. Sometimes it ends when people finally see it clearly. Linda wanted authority. She got accountability. And all it took was pressing record.